Today we're going to look at chapters 5 and 6 together of the book of 1 Samuel, since they deal with the same material. We open up chapter 5. It's kind of humorous, actually. I always found this chapter funny in a sense that the Ark of the God, which had been captured by the Philistines, and they thought they had done a great thing. They defeated the God of Israel, Jehovah, and they had taken his ark, his box, which they thought was the essence of God's person and deity, and they've won. And so they take it as an act of submission. They take the box and put it in the temple of their god Dagon, verse 2, because after all, they had defeated Israel, and Dagon was apparently the superior god. And so the box is placed before him. But the next day, verse 3, they come back to his temple, and there Dagon is laying down before the ark in an act of worship or submission. That had to be a bit disconcerting. They set him back up, but when they come back the next day, his head was cut off, and the palms of his hands were gone as well. So that wasn't a good day for Dagon. He's just not doing very good at all. And the people realize that they're up against something they do not understand. On top of that, the Lord's hand, verse 6, is against them. The ark is at a place called Ashdod, and everybody there started breaking out in tumors. And later on, we find apparently there was an infestation of mice as well. So plagues similar to the plagues of Egypt were starting to come on these Philistines. They were not happy about that at all, as you can imagine. They don't know what to do. Their God has bowed down before Jehovah, and now they're breaking out with these plagues. And so they start moving the ark from place to place. In verse 8, they bring it to Gath, and that city broke out with tumors as well. So they send it to, verse 10, to Ekron, and that didn't go too well either. And the hand of the Lord was heavy on them there. And they said, it's time to get rid of this ark. So how are they going to do that? It was in their territory, chapter 6, verse 1, for 7 months, and just caused all sorts of problems. How do we get rid of this ark? So they decide to put it on a wagon and take some cows who had never before pulled a wagon and send them out with the ark on the wagon back towards Israel. And so they're going to make kind of a sign out of this. If the cows take it towards Israel, then it's a sign to them that they should let it go back to Israel. If it goes somewhere else, then they'll deal with it there. So they said, well, we got to send a present with the ark back to the people of Israel, since we've taken their ark, So in verse 5, they make the likeness of the tumors out of gold, and the likeness of the mice out of gold, and they put it in the wagon and send it off. Well, the cows make a beeline right for a place called Bethshemesh in verse 9, and that was a place in Israel. And so it goes straight there to that territory. It leaves the Philistines, and they're happy about that. And so by verse 12, the cows are there, and the people of the Philistines go back to their own place. But when it gets to Bethshemesh, they do the right thing. They make an offering to the Lord, verse 14 of chapter 6. Then the Levites take the ark out of the wagon. That's a good start. And they place it, verse 18, on a stone as a witness. But they could not resist. Some of the people could not resist looking into the ark. After all, this is a very fascinating piece of furniture to them. It represents God himself, and they wanted to see what was in there. And so that was literally a fatal mistake. For we find in verse 19, the ones who looked into the ark, or at least after some had looked into the ark, the Lord began to strike them down, physically killing them. In verse 19, he destroyed over 50,000 people, 50,000 men because of this slight, because of this sin. As a result of that, it was time for them to do something more about this. And so in chapter 7, they're going to pack it up again and send it on its way. And as they do so, in chapter 7, we pick up what else is going to happen with the Ark of the Covenant. Very interesting story. It shows the power and greatness of God, and that he is a holy God, and he will not be tampered with, even his ark. And so Israel and the Philistines have learned a hard lesson.